Welcome to Real Estate with Real Faces, where homes meet hometown heroes. We're your trio behind the transaction. I'm Claire Springer, a realtor.
I'm Ashley Four, a lender.
And I'm Lindsay Michael, a title rep, bringing you real conversations with real people in our community.
From local business owners to everyday neighbors, we're spotlighting the faces behind the places and the stories behind the sold signs.
So grab your coffee, pull up a chair, and let's talk life, business, and all things real estate with a personal twist. Welcome back to Real Estate with Real Faces. Today we're going to be talking about how a home is just a chapter, my goodness, and it's not necessarily the entire story. So what we mean by that is that when you're going through the home buying process, that don't think, oh my goodness, I have to buy a house that I'm going to live in forever. Or and if you do have that idea, don't be sad to leave that house when you need to. Things change, lives change, all of our lives change, right? We've talked about before on previous episodes how we've all been in an apartment. I'm already on my second house.
Same.
My family growing up, we went through 3 houses. It wasn't always what we had expected. I know for a fact, like, my main childhood home that I think of, the one that I've talked about before that I want to sell.
Yeah.
That one I remember my family had always said we were going to live there. That was it. This was the end of our house. We weren't going to move on. We were never moving. And then my mom's dream house came up.
She was like, bro.
Yeah, dream house came out, and then we ended up getting that house, and we moved. And it was later. I mean, I was in high school at that point, too, anyways. But,
still.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're trying to say is that don't be ashamed to go into a house, because it might not be your forever, and if it is your forever, that's amazing. But don't be afraid to also even start the process, because you're hearing a lot. I don't know if you guys are hearing it, but you're hearing a lot that, at least for me, I'll have people come out to me and be like, oh, I'm not leaving. I have a 3% interest
All the
rate.
time.
Yes, you
All
have
the
a
time.
3% interest rate. However, the amount you could sell your house for right now, and all of the equity you could get, could potentially bring your rate down for a buy down points, or even like get the house that you're wanting or needing,
And having all that money to put down.
Exactly, a fraction of the price.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
People don't think of it that way. Like, and even, like, it's just, it is scary. You don't want to give up that 3%, and I get it. But sometimes things happen, and maybe you get divorced. Maybe something changes, and your kids have to move back in with you, or something like that. Like, it's
Like a big life event.
yeah. Sometimes you just don't have a choice.
Exactly.
Or even if you're just sick of the house, sometimes.
Yeah, too much upkeep.
Exactly.
And then there's also this stigma that when you go to sell the house or your house, that, oh my goodness, I have to put in so much work. I need to start doing new carpets. I need to repaint the walls. I need to do that. Not necessarily. Like, talk to a realtor, because what's going to happen is, more than likely, if you're putting brand new carpet down, what if your new buyer doesn't even like the carpet?
That's what I was just thinking. I was like,
They don't want
man,
carpet.
I would really love for them to not do that.
Yeah.
Like, don't put carpet in.
No, exactly. Because
Hardwood, please.
right. So
Yeah.
you like hardwood. Some
Yeah.
other people do like carpet in their bedrooms.
I like carpet in my bedroom.
But then there's some people that are like, I don't want carpet anywhere in the house. I want to do area rugs.
I have zero carpet in my house.
I
See,
have
growing
zero
up, my
carpet.
grandparents had carpet in their kitchen.
Ooh.
Yes,
And
same.
My parents
did too.
We had that too.
I could not.
Yeah.
And my grandma,
I've seen
she was
carpet in the
constantly like
bathroom
vacuuming after everything. Like, she would make a meal and she would
seen that.
vacuum up, and
Yeah.
then like we would do it. And I was like, man, if she wouldn't have been as clean of an individual as she was,
Yeah.
I could not.
Oh, think about all the spills too.
Yeah,
That's why she was so anal in her freaking kitchen.
My husband's grandparents had carpeting in their bathroom.
Yeah.
See, all
And
the
it was
water
like-
from the
It
shower,
was
like,
fine, but it was
and the
like,
feet, and like you just all the spray from the toilet's gonna get
Right.
in. I just
Yeah.
can't.
Well,
That's
that- yeah,
the part
that's
of
what
me
I'm
that I'm
saying,
like,
like-
that's why I can't do carpet.
But that's what I'm saying.
Anyway,
Like,
we digress.
there's people who are selling their houses, and I mean, I personally have met with a few of my sellers or even previous sellers that they were like, okay, Claire, let's meet, talk to me. What if I do this and this and this? The thing is, like, let's say you build a garage, okay? You just redid your entire garage, and I'm just throwing a number out there. It cost $50,000 for you to build your garage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That does not equate to
an extra $50,000.
an extra $50,000
No.
onto your
No,
house
it
value.
does not.
It doesn't.
It doesn't?
No.
Sorry.
And like,
I'm sassy today.
depending on how big the garage is, does it have electric, so on and so forth, you may be getting 10,
15, I was about to say,
15,000, not
man.
any 50,000.
No.
Like, not a 50, maybe a 15.
Right.
You know? So, like, doing some of those updates and remodels, and it's not always necessary.
No, would you rather have a client that like just doesn't talk to you about it? Because in my head, let's say I have a bunch of equity built up. I do have a 3.5 on my mortgage, or 3.25, I think, and then a bunch of equity. Let's say I pull out 10 grand to just redo the kitchen or just redo a bathroom, right? Like a main area of the house. Would that be in your head as an agent who has a lot of experience in looking at every home ever? Like, is that a better ROI, if you will, versus like building a pole barn or recarpeting everything?
To, like, remodel a kitchen, is what you're saying?
Or a bath, yeah. Because you hear the stigmas about like, oh, I'm gonna remodel my kitchen and it's gonna add so much value to the
Yeah.
home, blah 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 blah.
I think it's good. So, remodeling a kitchen or a bathroom is going to help. It is. However, how are you remodeling it? You know?
Yeah.
And again, cost. You may be putting a lot more money into it than what it's actually
bring
going
back.
to be
Right.
worth.
Yeah.
So, it's one of those things that if instead, let's list the house for the suggested price that I'm giving you after looking at comps, and if you're wanting to help with that value, add concessions. And concessions is where, you know, you are giving a credit. So you're
to the
telling the
buyer.
buyers, hey, and we've had that before,
yeah.
where, hey, we know the kitchen needs some work. The rest of the house is updated, or we know the rest of the house is
Yeah.
fine, but we'll give you a $3,000 or a $6,000 credit at closing. That way, it's a little bit off of their proceeds, and it wouldn't have costed as much as if they had
actually
gone and done it.
Yes.
themselves.
Right.
Yep.
So at least they're, and that way, then it's also giving those buyers
A chance to do it the way that they want.
correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I could be going in and putting in, you know,
What you like.
this color
Right.
flooring, and then you're like, I wanted darker flooring.
Yeah.
Well,
Right. Exactly.
yeah,
So it was a waste of time, a waste of
Yeah.
money,
Right.
if they're going to redo it anyway.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I've had one house where they had written in that they were putting in new carpet, and I was on the buyer's side, and my buyers said, "You can put in the new carpet. We're fine with that, but can we see what you're choosing first?"
Yeah.
Because obviously they're purchasing it. It just looked out that the carpet that they were choosing, my buyers actually liked and
Okay.
loved, so we were fine with it. I've also been on the seller side where a seller knew the yard needed some landscaping, and so he offered a credit towards the landscaping. The buyers said, "We'll take your credit, but we're not necessarily going to be using it
For the
landscaping." There's
Well, I
other
mean,
things that
isn't that
hey,
their choice?
Exactly.
It is.
and
Yeah.
that's
The
their
concessions
choice.
are, well, generally, concessions are just a credit.
Right.
Yep.
Unless it's like an inspection thing where
It has to.
Or
it has to be paid
right,
to the
Correct. Not
vendor.
necessarily an inspection. It could be also
anything, yeah.
like a contractor.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
hey, we know that there needs to be mold remediation. Here's a credit towards that
We had got a
paying
quote from
that
Yep.
contractor
That happened
to do the mold.
Right.
When we bought our house,
Yeah.
there was a couple things that we had. One thing that I remember was that they converted the fireplace to gas. They paid for that
Okay.
because there was cracks in the chimney.
Yeah.
And the guy who did the inspection was like, "We can fix it, but it still might not be what it needs to be." And so he said, I would suggest converting it to gas. That way you don't have those issues or whatever. So
Right.
that's what we did.
You asked that like as a concession or like as part of
It was part of. So they cut the check to
the company.
The company.
Nice.
Okay.
to
Yeah.
come and do
exactly.
it. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah, see, I didn't, when I bought my house, it wasn't, it was like the perfect storm. I'm telling you, like everyone says that and like, they're like, oh, we got the house that, no, I mean, like me and my agent had been looking and she was so patient with me because I would walk into a house, I'd look at, like, and she'd be like, okay, like, and she didn't waste time, like it was awesome. But I had like found it had been on the market for 2 hours.
oh, wow.
Literally, when I tell you I used to creep on Zillow, like I was getting paid for it. It was bad. But like I found it, I sent it, I was like, I want to go see it. And she must have like instantly messaged them. And they had responded saying that they were on a 30-day time frame because he was leaving for work. And like you were the first off and like all the thing, like you were the first interest. It all worked out so well. We got the inspection report back and I like little stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like little stuff. Touch up paint here. There's
Yeah.
a crack
Oh.
here. Like literally, there was nothing wrong with this
Right.
house. The furnace was a little outdated for sure. That was the worst thing, and of course, that was the first thing that gave me issues. But she had told me, she was like, you can ask for anything,
Yeah.
and I was like, what do you mean? And I remember being so shocked because like that's not a part of the home buying process that anyone ever really
Yeah.
tells you or like forewarns you when you're walking through houses, you know? And it was probably my issue because I didn't ask her. I didn't know to ask her. But like, I think I probably would have accepted a house sooner if I would have like had the forward thinking,
Yeah.
you know, because we had seen a lot of houses and I was like, oh, I could fix this or I could ask for this. And I just didn't know.
Yeah.
And for this one, for whatever reason, she had said, she's like, well, just ask to get it fixed. It's not a lot of like big stuff. And I did. I asked for every single thing on that. And he had it fixed within 2 days.
Yeah.
I didn't care if he fixed it himself or not because they were all cosmetic,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and he did. He fixed everything as a homeowner and gave me
Okay.
all the receipts for everything that he bought to fix it with if I needed to go get anything to match. And that was that. And it all, like, I literally got my house in, like, 3 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was
That's awesome.
stupid. Like, it was stupid fast.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, so I feel like the next time I buy a house, I'm not really going to know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I hope you do now.
Well, yeah, let's
Yeah.
hope so, right?
I
Jeez.
hope you learned things as we talked.
Plus, you have a vast amount of connections now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, it'll be exciting to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it
Just ask.
yeah, just ask, and also like more than I mean, your realtor who's even going and giving you numbers. Hey, let's sit down. I want to do new carpet in here. What are my options? Or is that going to add value to me doing new carpets, or should I just give a credit, or talk it over with the realtor?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to help immensely.
100%.
Because also, like we had said, don't be afraid also to be moving out. And it may not be how you would like everyone to perceive it, and what you have in your mind and what your vision was for this house.
Yeah.
However, your vision may not, more than likely is not going to match up with someone else's vision.
Right.
Or, for that matter, stay the same. Like,
Exactly.
throughout your
Yeah.
life. You know,
Yeah.
I think ideally in a perfect world, and, like, everything, not your values or maybe your beliefs, but how you execute things and how you go about your life
yeah.
and your view on life
Oh.
changes as you get older.
Just
So,
speaking of like my mom in
yeah.
growing up, I don't know the amount of times that we painted our kitchen. Like one day she'd be like, or I shouldn't say one day, but like one time we had our kitchen, she came home one day and was like, we're going to do a project. And I was like, great, what are we doing? I'm thinking like, all right.
Yeah,
She
congrats.
had those yellow sponges and some red paint, was like, we're sponging the... So we did. We
It was
got
like
reds.
early 2000s, red.
Yeah.
Why is that such a
I
thing?
don't
With
know.
brown?
No,
So-
no brown. Brown.
Thank
It was
God.
white and red.
Oh,
And then
apples.
and then she went out and got all new appliances.
Jeez.
Well, small appliances, not like
Okay.
our stove and fridge.
Okay.
But
Okay.
like,
Dang, okay.
no, just like the toaster, the
Okay.
microwave,
Yeah.
the KitchenAid,
yeah. Yeah.
the pot, or, the container that holds all of the utensils.
Yeah.
Brand new utensils. Like literally, she went out and
Kitchen
everything
refresh.
red, all
Oh my
red
gosh.
to go along with the sponged red. Yeah.
I don't like red.
Wow.
So
I like red.
So right now, she just got. They remodeled their. So this is a different house. Her and my stepdad, they remodeled their kitchen. I think was it last year or 2 years ago, and just recently she has gotten new curtains. She just within the last couple months added a new area rug around the kitchen table,
Okay.
and has gotten a new toaster. Like she's starting to go back to like
funny.
Yeah.
because she just didn't. She needed to change,
Yeah.
and that's how she is.
But that's
Gotta
how,
change
you
her
know,
environment.
sometimes you do need to change.
yeah,
Like,
sometimes you do.
I get
And
that.
that's the point. Like sometimes your house, again, like we started with that. This is not. It's just a chapter.
It's
Yeah,
not-
but
It's
the
not
I
a
like
story.
Yeah.
the fact that she was even able to do that because she owned her homes.
Yes.
yeah.
So like you can't.
You can just do whatever
that.
you want.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if I want to come home and paint my ceiling, I can do that. You
Yeah.
know, you get to express yourself a lot more, so it gets comfier and more homey. And
Yeah.
We,
Yeah.
we
I mean, you can do whatever you want with your own home. To an extent.
to an
obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean,
damn city ordinances.
yeah. But I mean, at the same time, like if it's not working out for you too, sit down. You might be able to find something. You might be surprised with how much equity you have.
some people don't realize how much their homes are worth now.
Yeah.
Well, and even still, some people, when they go up to me and tell me, oh, I'm never leaving, I have a 3% rate.
Yeah.
Great. However, how much is your house worth?
Yeah.
Right.
And you can buy down to get back to a lower rate.
Right. And be out no money.
I mean,
Because
I don't
it's
know that you
all-
could buy down to get down to 3, maybe, because there's
Maybe.
only I think there's a limit on points,
I don't know.
and I'm not
Could be
100%
your-
sure.
that'd be
I
your
haven't had
expertise.
anybody want to buy down that much, so
Right, because you'd have
'Cause
to
it's
buy
at,
down
like,
it. But then at the same
7,
time, like
6%.
they
That's a
might
lot of
be,
money.
but they could be
Yeah.
putting down a huge down payment too.
yeah, yeah,
True.
That-
It could work out.
Your
Some-
mortgage
your
is
payment's gonna be the
so
same.
small.
yeah,
Yeah.
Well, and with rates like slowly creeping anyway,
yeah.
if you get a rate at a low 5, I feel like a 2-point buy down.
Maybe if
To
you
get
could get
you
a
in
low
the high
5. I mean,
threes.
that's the thing. You
yeah,
just
it's
have
still
to,
in the high
Right.
fives.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd still be in the high 5s right now.
That's what I said, if you
But-
could get a low 5.
Yeah,
But
and it
It's
just
all
depends. It depends on
circumstantial. Yeah, of
depends
course.
on
yeah.
everything in your credit
Right.
and other factors. But
Yeah, I feel like
But
that's
sometimes
like the
you might be willing to pay a little bit more on your mortgage if it's getting you the house that you need.
exactly.
For example, like, I know a family that they're living in a 2-bedroom and they have quite a few kids,
yeah,
and they need to outgrow it.
Yeah.
they need to.
Or
yeah, they
not
need.
outgrow it.
They need.
They-
out-
they-
they
yeah.
have on.
Yeah.
Right.
They need, and so
needed
there's
something.
then
Yeah.
they realize that yes, they have a low mortgage, but at the expense of living all on top of each
Crowded
other and
and-
very
yeah.
crowded. They need, you know.
Yeah.
And then I know people who are living in a larger house and they're just like, this is just too much for us.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know, we need to
Yep.
downsize.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Or there's those circumstances where there might be a death in the family and you have now taken the care of some kids
Yeah.
or someone else.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now you need to, the house that you thought was going to be your forever home now needs to change.
Yeah, it doesn't fit your life anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, like, houses don't change. They do if you make them, but, like, they're the square footage that you get, you know, like,
Yep.
but your life is the variable. Like, it changes all the time. So
Right.
that's why I've always thought it was so silly that it's not more of, like, a common sense thing that, like, oh, I'm not going to own this home for forever. It's like a pair of shoes, right? Like, you're going to move in and it's going to take you all through life. You're going to put your shoes on. It's going to walk you all around, you know.
Yeah.
But, like, once you've outgrown them, like, you can't force your feet back in the shoes. Like, they don't fit you anymore if your lifestyle doesn't fit your house. I just think that the hiccup in a lot of it is people are just scared to ask. Or they don't know what to ask. And when they're met with people who, oh, well, just trust me. Like, I've been doing this for forever. Like, you don't need to ask any questions. Like, just trust me. They should trust you, but they should be trusting, you know, like, what you're telling them and the advice and the answers that you're giving them. So I just feel like the comfortability around question asking is really what needs to change.
Absolutely. Talking to a lender and finding out what the rate could be for you and if you could get a lower rate. And then talking to a realtor to see how much your house is worth.
Right.
And what kind of needs you have.
It's not going to hurt to talk to somebody. It's not going to, I mean, the only way it's going to affect you is now you know.
Well, and
Right.
if you're
Now you know.
right, and if you're meeting with someone like a lender or a real estate agent, in my opinion, not being either one of these things, talking as like a client at this point, not even a title agent. Like, if I were to meet someone and they were to make me feel inadequate about the questions that I would that is not the person that I would choose.
absolutely.
On to the
1000%.
next. And if you have to force yourself to work with that person because, you know, family is telling you to work with or friends have recommended, that's great that it worked for them, but I really hope they didn't have that experience too, you know? So, yeah, just comfortability all around.
I just closed on a loan on Monday, and the buyer, we literally never talked on the phone. We just text.
Yeah.
And which is fine. But man, she would text me a lot. She would ask me all these questions, and then
she was your question
She
asker?
was like, "I'm so sorry that I'm annoying." I'm like, "You are not annoying.
Yeah.
That's my job is
Yeah.
to answer your
I
questions."
don't think I've ever gotten upset with a client when they
No,
ask me
like,
questions.
absolutely
Like,
not.
That's how I learned.
Well,
and that's how
and
it's
if I don't-
reinforced.
And if I don't
almost,
know,
like-
I'm not going to say, I don't know. I'm going to say, and if I do say I don't know, I'm always going to
I'm
follow it
gonna
up with,
find out.
like, let me ask, blah, blah, blah,
That's-
or
yes,
I'm going to
exactly.
find out.
I'm gonna have a
and I
tool
will
in my
let you
belt
know.
to be able
like,
to-
I'm not going to
yes,
just be
absolutely.
like, I don't know. Like,
Yes.
I'm not
Well, that
gonna do
happened yesterday. I had an agent reach out to me, and they had a question about transferring names between a. They're not divorced yet, but they're in the process of becoming divorced. So she was asking a bunch of questions about what it would look like and things like that. And I told her straight up, I was like, you know, typically I would just say like a quitclaim deed, but the fact that these are investment properties, there's no divorce decree, like all of these things are kind of factors into it.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, this is what I think so far, but like I told her, I was like, keep this in your head for now, but I'm also asking XYZ, like, just let you know. And I ended up reinforcing what I had already said, which not only made me feel better because I knew what I was talking about to an extent. Like, there were more information that I could tack on that I had gathered. But if she wouldn't have reached out for that question that she thought might have been silly, I wouldn't have then asked someone, found, okay, I am right in what I'm saying. Cool. I am learning something. I kind of know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Also, here's some additional information to tack on when someone else asks this question next time. Yeah, loved it.
And I just think that some people think that when you're doing something like this, when you're buying a house, that you have to be some kind of expert with your realtor and your mortgage lender. But we know that you're not. Like,
Right.
We know that you don't do this every day.
Right.
Like, and we've talked about it before, but it's like, yeah, ask all the questions you want.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
ask all.
stupid or not, it's not stupid, really. Like, if you think it's stupid, it's not. Like, you didn't know, so now you know. So,
Well, I guarantee somebody else has asked that before, too.
exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like that's like us coming into your world of occupation and being like, oh well, what? And you having the response of, well, why didn't you know that? Because I'm not a doctor. What do you mean?
right.
Like I'm not. I don't do taxes. I'm not
Right.
an equestrian coach. I don't know. Like all the different careers out there. Like this just so happens to be ours.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so, you know, we talk about chapters. Like, our first house we only meant to live there for like 3 to 5 years,
Yeah.
we ended up there for 12 years.
Wow.
Because the housing market crashed.
Okay.
The year after we bought it.
Life changed.
So
Yeah.
we couldn't sell it. Like, we were upside down on it. And then I think that right before we were selling, I was like, you know what? I think we're okay now. Like, so I, looked on Zillow on this estimate. And then I called a real estate agent, and they came out and said we could sell it for this much. I'm like, perfect.
Yeah.
And it was quick.
It
was really quick. And we're here now. And we actually thought about selling it a couple years ago and moving into an apartment because we were just really sick of taking care of stuff.
Yeah.
Because
I feel
it was
like you
so
have a
much at
bigger
one time.
house.
Our house is big. It doesn't have a basement though, which really sucks.
So just a longer style ranch.
It's very big. When we first moved into it, we came from like a 900 square foot house to a almost 2,000 square foot house. And like walking from one side to the other, I was like, this takes forever. Like it did. Obviously I'm used to it now, but like, yeah, it was wild. But we thought about selling it because we just don't want to take care of it anymore, but it didn't work out that way. So we got a home equity because we thought we could use whatever we got from selling the house to pay off all of our debt, and then live in an apartment for a while, save up more money, like until we were ready to buy a house again.
Right.
But we just said, we needed a new roof, we needed a new furnace, like all the big stuff needed changed, and I didn't want to try and sell it without doing that because those are big items. Yeah.
Even though you could have.
I could have. I just didn't. I wanted to be able to,
Yeah.
And then we just talked about this, but
Yeah.
I knew those were really big things.
Well, they're important things too. It's
Yeah.
not just like the bathroom's kind of ugly.
Right.
It's like
exactly.
the pipes are freezing. And it's cold.
Yeah. But so we decided to just get a home equity, pay off stuff using that, which it would have been better if we would have just whatever. But we're in a better spot now, and we're planning on staying in here at this house for a while. But who knows?
Things
Could
change.
change.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we started in an apartment, and we had meant to stay there for a little while. We were only there for a year, and we decided we wanted to buy a house.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Couldn't tell you. So we decided let's go start looking at houses. I think it was more, and then we found a house that our mortgage was a little bit less than what we were paying. Oh, that's why. Okay.
The mortgage was less.
The apartment was increasing. The rent was increasing. And you didn't get a lot of flexibility with like internet providers. And so we were like, well, you know what? Let's look into buying a house. We found a house that we bought. And same thing. We only planned to be there for 3 to 5 years. And even our realtor knew that because that's what we kept saying.
Yeah.
We ended up being there for 7 or 8 years. And the only reason we moved out was because I then got pregnant with my second. So it was perfect for us while we were pregnant with our first.
Yeah.
But then when I found out I was pregnant with our second, we were like, we need to move.
Yeah.
So we found the house that we're in now, and listen, I'm staying here. Like, I don't care what anybody says. I'm staying in that house.
It's
love
big
that
enough,
house.
though. Yeah.
We're doing a lot to the house. Like, I want to stay in this house.
Yeah.
And I think it's perfect for everything that we have going on. Like, I don't.
For right now.
Nope.
Wait a minute! Didn't you?
No,
wait, hold on.
Yes, for right now. However,
Be open to it.
no. Because here's my thing. As of right now, that's what I keep saying. As of right now, I keep saying, this is where we're staying. This is where we're staying.
Right.
I'm not opposed, though, to getting a piece of land to go camping on, though. That property to camp, because then I can have a vacation little home.
No,
You
you
know
don't
what I mean?
have a she shed out there.
I don't want to live. Listen.
What happens if, like, you get pregnant with twins or something? Or, like...
Well, then we're going to have a really big conversation
Yeah,
if I
true.
got pregnant again.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about that. I mean, I don't know. What if... Yeah, well, what if you But if you grow
I
out
already
of
have
it,
a million animals, so
It's true.
true. Maybe that's the key. Just buy your first house.
we have
with
talked that
the
if we
ability
ever,
to grow with your family.
if anything did happen, that we needed to downsize, we would keep that house
As like a rental or something.
as a because it's a great location, but even offering it to the kids,
Oh yeah, yeah.
so at least we're
Generational
setting them
wealth.
up.
Yeah, for sure.
We
Smart.
I dream of not living here anymore. So, like I don't want to live here anymore.
I did like when I first was in college, I was like, I'm moving to Tennessee or Florida. That's it.
Tennessee or Arizona for me.
Nope, Tennessee or Florida. I'm getting out. But then when I had kids and all of our family is here,
Yeah.
you're not taking me away.
See,
See,
like,
my family
That's
would
why I
move.
said-
would move with you.
They would
Right, maybe. But I'm saying I have. It's just not my family.
Yeah.
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 You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we have all of our family here,
Yeah, no.
and I'm not doing that. So that's why I'm like, we'll get property.
Every place has their thing, though. Like Tennessee, like my family is from Tennessee, and the bugs down there are
Oh, yeah.
ridiculous. And like in Florida, the same thing. They have alligators and snakes
Yep.
and
I would not
spiders.
live in Florida.
We have
Personally.
snow that kills all the
the
insects.
geckos that come
I'll take
inside
it.
all the time.
Or the ones in Florida where you go to pick them up because you think they're cute and then their tail falls off.
Yep.
Yeah, not a fan of those.
Yeah.
Learned fast in Disney.
Just those, the weather too.
I cried.
I'm definitely
My dad
afraid
made me
of
believe that I killed one of them.
hurricanes or. I find tornadoes very fascinating.
Oh, me
though.
too.
Agreed. It's a
too.
Midwestern thing, swear to God.
I think it is.
I literally
Like,
swear.
guys,
And then
I could nerd out so hard right now.
Bro, CJ and I have chased them before.
Yeah, you've said that before to me.
Yes.
I've talked to you.
wait,
we've
can we
talked
go?
about this?
Hold on, it's almost tornado season, guys.
Guys,
Stop.
you don't understand how sick
Let's buy a van
I
and
am.
take this podcast on the road.
Real estate with real faces.
Chase the
Farm
tornadoes.
tumors.
We gotta see what real estate these tornadoes
Whoa,
are
going on a
destroying.
chase.
We'll see where the
What
next
houses
developments
will
in the
they be
area will be.
destroying?
I'm done.
Gosh.
Oh gosh, they're so scary because obviously, like, I know the damage that they can do. But I had a tornado as a
Yes.
kid. I think this is where it stems from, because there was
I
a
would
tornado.
go out afterwards and look at all the damage.
No.
And I'm like, that is so sick. I'm so sorry. But to think that a
That's so
storm
strong.
could do that, bro.
No, there was a tornado that was like going through Osceola Elkhart when I was a kid, and it picked up a tree from my neighbor's backyard, brought it over my house, and literally sat it in our front yard. And when I tell you, like, in this house, you walked in, it was the living room, hallway, kitchen, and then the bedrooms, okay? But before you get to the kitchen, there's a wall with a staircase that goes down to a basement, an unfinished basement. Laundry was down there, systems were down there. I had, like, a blow-up Little Tykes, like, ball pit
Yeah.
that my dad had cut the top part off of, so it was just a bouncy mat that I just destroyed myself on all the time down there. It was awesome. It was like an indoor trampoline. I could feel it to the whole house was shaking, and I remember thinking to myself, I was like 7 at the time, and I was like, we don't have earthquakes.
No.
Like, I remember
we have had one
distinctly
before.
thinking,
We've had
we
like
don't
the
have-
residual.
but this
Yeah.
was big. Like, I could, my whole, like, you know, when you're in like a really good
Yeah.
concert and you feel the bass,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
what it felt like. And it started getting so loud, and then it was dead silent.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? I was like, we don't have earthquakes. And I was like, what is going on? And then next thing I knew, my mom grabbed me, like, literally, like, grabbed me, drugged me down the hallway, and threw me down the stairs. I landed right on my little tyke thing. Like, granted, it was not a full flight of stairs. It was,
Yeah.
like, maybe 8 stairs, because
Yeah.
it was, like, a extended crawl space type thing. We could stand up, though. But, like, yeah, and next thing I knew, everything was done and over with. It got really loud. Both my parents were down there. We walked out of the house. Everything was like, there was hail everywhere, and there was a tree in my front yard where there was not one.
That's crazy.
And ever since then, I'm like, that's a tornado cloud. And I will just like watch it
I
and
love
wait
it.
to see what happens.
Yeah.
It's so crazy, though. Hurricanes, I'm the same way.
I've driven by one before.
They're
Just
insane.
Really?
I'll have to show you
Yeah.
pictures on
I
my
was
phone.
driving
Yeah.
the one that hit over by Ireland.
By my
Yeah,
house.
by the daycare
I
center.
saw it.
That's the one that CJ and I were chasing.
Yeah,
I have
saw
pictures
it
of it on my
window.
phone.
I was
We're
driving
getting way
down
too excited
Ironwood,
right
and
now.
I'm like, oh, there it goes. There it goes. It's forming.
Yeah.
It's forming.
Yeah.
Ah!
We were in the
My house is
CVS.
right there. So
I have
Yeah,
a picture
right,
of
shit.
CJ and I in the CVS with the daycare center like completely destroyed behind him because it had just happened. We were coming down that road past Planet Fitness.
yeah,
It's great.
It was wild.
I didn't.
Just,
it was
like,
such
it's
a
so
surprise.
fascinating.
It was a surprise tornado, really.
Yes.
that
Yeah,
one was.
It was.
And
It wasn't. So
And we
exciting.
took Kern Road all the way home. We were in two separate vehicles, and you could just see the entire storm like moving.
We
It's
would-
so fascinating.
we were.
Well,
we
we
had
had
the
a
news
friend
on.
that because that's where we
How
used
did
to
we
live
get so
was
far
Irish
off
Hills.
topic?
I don't know.
This is my confession. I love tornadoes.
We love tornadoes, guys. We're going on the
These
road.
are my confessions. No, we used to live in Irish Hills, so we had friends
yeah.
that lived
Oh,
there.
yeah.
I had a friend that was walking their dog,
Oh my god.
and it started. They were like, they picked their dog up and ran
Ran.
inside.
I would knock on someone's door.
Yeah,
I'm not even
they
joking
They
with
had
you.
just started, so they
We were watching
coming
the
back or
news
something like that. Yeah.
because there was an alert, and
Yeah.
so we turned on the TV. We're like, "What's going on?" Like it didn't look like anything was happening.
Yeah.
outside.
And then it was
And
just
then-
there.
and
Because
then-
there was no tornado sirens or
No,
anything.
and then
yeah.
the power went out. We were like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
eerie.
eerie.
So
And then
weird.
The
Emma goes-
street was eerie.
we were sitting on the couch,
It
and
was on Ironwood.
the window is behind us.
We were right
And
next to each other
that's
because
crazy.
that's so weird.
And
We're weird.
Emma points out the window, and she goes, she didn't even say anything. She was like, and you could see just
Like
like,
the
top,
wall
you could
of,
see
like-
the top of the tornado
Yes.
and all the debris.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we live off of Ironwood,
Yeah.
so we're not like super close to Ironwood, but
No.
we're like close enough.
But
that
you got it when it was the treetop
Yeah.
tornado before it actually.
I was like, we
Oof.
could hear it and we could see it
Yeah.
moving along, and we were like, holy crap!
Yep. It's
And then
so
Tyler,
eerie.
he drove down to see what happened at the daycare.
Yeah.
So bad.
I was just glad the daycare was closed.
Me
and
too.
there was
It was
no
like a
kid. It was a
Sunday or
Sunday.
something.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
no one there because
Nobody
if
was
that
there.
would have been a thing, like with those kids in there,
Ugh. I can't talk about
that
stuff
would have
like
been so tragic.
Yeah.
So
Well, that-
tragic.
That's what
Anyway.
I don't like about Smash.
Gosh.
Well, yes. So again, just to recap, your house is
Home warranties. No, I'm just kidding.
just to recap, your
Make sure you
house
have good
is
insurance.
a chapter. Not it doesn't have to be your entire story. So don't feel bad when your story has to maybe be rewritten. Where if you have to sell your home or you need to downsize or
Pivot.
whatever it is. Yeah, exactly.
Pivot.
So reach out, talk to somebody. Maybe you don't even need to. I forgot what I was saying.
I wish I could make a cricket noise.
Oh.
Beep beep. Beep beep. Maybe you don't even need to look that far. Maybe you have friends.
Oh,
and blah,
no.
blah, 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 blah.
Oh, maybe you don't even need to do the upgrades and the fixes that you are thinking
Yeah.
you have to.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you're able to sell your home for an amount that you didn't think was even possible.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to help you to keep that same mortgage payment that you're paying right now for a new home. Or maybe you're able to buy down points to get it back to the rate that you're paying right now.
Yeah.
So just reach out to a realtor, lender, and
Never know
find
what
out
you're
your
having.
options are.
Yep, now know what your options are.
Exactly. All right, well, thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.